What's up, guys? It's Bal here, and today we're going to be doing some game finds. This will be game finds number 15. Can you believe it? 15. That's insane. I have 15 other videos of this.
Splatoon's mine, eh?
Yes, it is, but it still gets presented.
Same with Overcooked.
That still gets presented.
I know, but...
Yes, it gets recorded, but we don't talk about your name. Hey, this is something she bought. I don't really do that. I just say, hey, we got this.
I'm in the list.
Of course this is going to be in the list. Anyways, so I have a whole bunch of games here from a whole bunch of different platforms this time around. It's going to be awesome. Now, we have, let's see, quite a few Nintendo. And then we got possibly a few more PlayStation 1 games. So, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off nice and cheap here. And now, here's a couple of games that I don't really know much about them. I understand that one of these is kind of like at least $10. And then the other one I picked up because I had to, or else this wouldn't be $2.50. There's a little pawn shop that I go to sometimes, and they'll have games where it'll be like 2 for $5. And they don't really care what's in there. I actually found WarioWare in there before. I found Rebel Star Heroes. I found I was tempted to buy Pokemon from there too at one point. But no, there has been quite a few games that have been like cycled through there. And a couple of these games, or one of these, is actually called Scourge Hive. Now, Scourge Hive, I don't know much about it, but I remember somebody recommending it to me. Scourge Hive. Let's Google it. Yeah, Scourge Hive. It's a action-adventure video game. Yeah, and it was actually, like, it looks cool. It looks like a legitimately cool game. There's a Game Boy Advance version, and there's a Nintendo DS version as well. The other one that I kind of doubt is cool, they make it sound cool though, is called Tokyo Extreme Racer. I don't know anything. It's got Crave on it. Crave Entertainment. Yeah. But nah, it's okay. It's always good to try and bolster the collection, especially when it comes to Game Boy Advance games, because they're just so cheap. Like, some people will price them really high, but then you have other ones who just don't care, and then you just get them for super cheap. It's awesome. So yeah, that's those two. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to PlayStation now for a little bit, because these games, I'm trying to go from like worst to best. So yeah, let's go there. Alright, so these ones, we have Crusaders of Might and Magic. Yes, I still have the price tag on there. I was too lazy to take it off. Yeah, this one I ended up finding at a local game store that we have around our area. And I decided, I'm like, you know what? This game looks interesting. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. What I didn't know, though, is that it actually had a movie gallery sticker on the disc itself, which is a little disappointing on my end, but on the other side of things, we had a movie gallery in town, so it's kind of cool to have, but on the other hand, I think it was like a stamp. Maybe it's not a sticker. I guess it is a label. Yeah, but either way, it's kind of stuck on there now. It ain't coming off. Kind of attached to the disc now. For those of you who don't know, Crusaders of Might and Magic is a 3D fantasy action game. Right. You do quests, And, you know, it's so standard. It's so standard. And it says it's got about 25 levels. You slay your enemies through scores with grueling quests. Fight dozens of foul, menacing monsters. The way that they say it in the back, it says, as Drake, a lone mercenary toughened by years of hardship, you're swept up into the midst of a crusade. Your only mission is to rid the land of the same vile evil that annihilated your family. Then, and only then, you will have your revenge. Live the fantasy of a hardened hero seeking justice. Sizzling high-resolution graphics and dazzling lighting effects. Go to battle armed with a variety of wicked weapons and explosive spells. So you're a hero, and you wield your might, your magic, like... I don't know any other explanation I could give this. Taking a quick look at the manual, we have a black and white manual. And it actually has the card in it still, which I like. Yeah, it ain't all that descriptive, man. Sometimes manuals for cheaper games are just like... Alright. So yeah, let me put this all back here. Okay. The next one on that PlayStation chopping block is actually Namco Museum Volume 3. Now, a lot of my memories doesn't come from Namco Museum, Volume 3 anyways, but Namco Museum Volume 1. So, to see the other ones out there, it's really awesome. Now, for some reason, they used a lot less arcade games in this one. Like, I never really got that, because, like, the first one had, like, 8, and it had, like, a virtual tour you can take. You could, like, walk around the museum. It's pretty awesome. But this one, it's only 6. Were they running out of games? Like, I'm pretty sure we had a pole position 2 in the first one. And Galaxian? Yeah, so we had... Okay, so in this one, there's pole position 2, Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug, Phozon, and the Tower of Draga. So, like... That's pretty... I would love to play Tower of Draga. But yeah, this one was mainly just a... This one's mainly just the revel and all the memories. Taking a look at the disc here, it's very much a Namco Museum volume disc. Has the 6 games that you could play. And taking off the disc here, a little Miss Pac-Man waving. You have to wave back though. She'll be unhappy and steal your soul. Okay, opening up the manual here. We have a black and white gloss book manual, which is very normal. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like they have the same kind of thing going on, where you have a museum that you can explore. And you go through the museum and you can actually go into the games. It's really cool looking. You know, whenever I get a chance to play on a Namco Museum on stream, I will definitely show you guys. I think I did for the first one, just to walk around the museum. I thought it was a really neat addition. Like, it didn't have to be there, but they knew it could be there. And it also gives you the option where you don't have to walk around. You could just pick up the game that you want and play it. So, yep. Namco Museum, Volume 3. Tekken 3. Tekken 3. Tekken 3. I've been looking for this one. The Tekken series is a staple in PlayStation history. And just take out my receipt here. It is just very, very nice that when I saw this at a Goodwill, $5, I'm like, money well spent. You know, the game isn't worth all that much, but like, in all reality, it doesn't have to be worth much to be a good game. You know, and I'm gonna be playing the hell out of this when I get it. Yeah, and see, there we go. Scatmaker says Tekken 3 is a staple in Tekken history. See, this shows how much I know about fighting games. And a lot of people consider it to be one of the strongest entries. And you know what? I tend to agree, and I can't get this I cannot get this manual out. Ooh, you're tough. Yeah, this game I was very happy to get. You know, it's got a whole bunch of different kinds of characters, and I never knew what Yoshimitsu is. He looks like an alien. I don't care what people say. But I always remember playing this on a demo. You know, I never actually owned the game itself. It was always on that demo, and I think I only had a choice between 2 characters. I also remember playing this in the arcade machines, Tekken. That was pretty fun. Like, there was always this giant bear that you ended up fighting against. You had no idea how you were fighting against him. He just kicked your ass all the time. I remember that. There we go. But yeah, there really isn't too much else that needs to be said. This is a staple game, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection now. That just leaves... I think that just leaves Tekken 1 that I have to buy completed, and that would be all 3 Tekken games that I would have in my library now. I technically have them all now, but I would like to get them complete, if that's possible. Alright. Man, okay, so these are all good games at this point, so... This is not necessarily in the order of the best to, or worst the best, but just the order that I deem probably most fitting. So we're going to start with a Nintendo DS game, and generally when I find this game in other stores or game stores, they charge about $30 to $40 for this game. Why? Because it's a Zelda game. It's The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Now, from my understanding, this game is... Some people like it, some people hate it, but most people are generally favorable with it. I think that this game will... I can actually peel... Oh, I can peel this off. 1 second. I can peel it off. Oh, it's coming off. Yeah. I like it when I can peel off a sticker without issues. Yes. Cool. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I never really... like... When these games came out, I've never really played them. I played Minish Cap and the Four Swords Adventure, but it was actually the Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance. But I've never really played other Zeldas until very recently when I completed The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Both those games were very excellent, and you know, it's kind of gotten me into the Zelda mood. It has really grown on me over time. So yeah, this one I believe very much pushes the touchscreen. I haven't beaten that one. I've not beaten Breath of the Wild, though. It's actually, when I get a third monitor, which will be relatively soon, actually, I should be able to play most HDMI sourced games. So hopefully we can get that going. But opening this little guy up here. Of course, in regular DS fashion, we got ourselves the game with the little cartridge. And in this beautiful, beautiful big old book, which I gotta get out here. It's massive, by the way. Though, it's because it's also in French. I absolutely love Nintendo products. They put so much effort and color into their games, into their packaging, into their manuals. I absolutely love it. They do such a good job. You know, even in the DSJ days, like, you didn't even need to have this full color going on. This was totally, like, going the extra mile. And I absolutely love Nintendo for that. You know, their games always, like, give me a smile because it's so nice. It's so beautiful. Yeah. So, I don't know, there's not too much to talk about some of these because it's like I don't really have a lot of memories. Kind of what makes it hard for game collecting, you know. All right, so moving on. We have 2 N64 games. Yeah, you're not going to hear that from me often. And it's actually 2 staple games as well, so they're not just little knockoff things. But they're kind of in rough shape, and I have to put a lot of work into them. They don't look too bad regarding pen size or anything like that. But regards to the outside, I'm going to have to put some effort into it. A little bit of elbow grease, you know. And the first one's Donkey Kong 64. Now, this one was also found at a Goodwill. And from my understanding is that I needed the expansion pack for the N64 to even play this game. It won't let you play it without it. Which is fine, because I already own one. I absolutely love the yellow cartridge. You know, when they always go with the different color cartridge, that's awesome. With this game, I understand it's a giant collectathon, but I've always admired the last boss of the game, because I ended up seeing a speedrun or 2 of it, where you're fighting like King K. Rool, and I think that's so cool. That was such a cool fight. And, you know, despite people kind of like bashing this particular game, I think I'll get a lot of fun out of it. You know, I think it would be a lot of fun. The next N64 game that came right beside it, and Bleached Out so rejects it to this day because it's kind of faded. That's Mario Party, the first one. Now, when I saw this one, and this is the main reason why I went to the store in the first place, was that they actually had a Mario Party for a fairly good price. So I definitely went there, and I looked at it, and I looked at the picture, and I'm like, it's kind of faded, but, you know, it looks pretty good to me. And so I picked it up. She didn't like it. But I'm going to keep it with me, because I absolutely would love to have the first Mario Party with me. So now the amount of Mario Parties we have, it's 1, 2, 3. Even though she won't admit that there's a 1 now.
1, 5, and 7.
No, you need 5 and 7.
1, 5, and 7.
What about 11? I still think this is fine. I'm very happy that I got this copy of Mario Party. And Getsu, how are you doing tonight, my friend? Like I said, this one, just like the Donkey Kong 64 I just showed a second ago, they need a lot of cleaning. They need a lot of work. Almost like a new case almost, but they will shine. They will be beautiful by the time I'm done with them. If I ever have time to do anything with them. I'm looking off into the distance. It sucks. It really sucks. Alright, going on into... I forgot to put that back into the... Ooh. I try and keep the receipts with the games themselves, because I like to. I didn't used to do that, but Bleached Out showed me the way. She showed me the light. And now I do it. As per usual. Right? Alright, so we have 2 Wii U games here. And I don't really think it matters which one comes first. Alright, let's go with this one. Let's start with Splatoon. Now, do you know what's funny? the first Splatoon still has people playing it. And it's a lot of Japanese people. But we actually decided to go into the multiplayer forum for this. And it's still active. And that's really cool. Now, when it regards to the game itself, I found it kind of fun to play. I'm not all too big on the third-person shooter genre, but you know, it was a lot of fun when I did play the time that I had with it. Platoon. I think. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really get any of the amiibos to get the in-game gear or anything like that. But I will, you know, of course, I'm going to always keep an eye out for cheap amiibos. And opening up the game here, they didn't actually have a manual with this one, which made me sad. But it does have a lot of squids.
Manuals in the
I don't like how the manual's in the game. I like seeing my manual. Makes me sad.
complete though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely complete. Don't get me
It
wrong.
seemed like I bought it without the manual.
No, like I was saying, games these days, the current games, a lot of them don't have manuals anymore. It's just kind of the fact of life. But yeah, this one we actually found fairly cheap. We didn't really have to spend that much for it, so it was kind of like an easy pick. It's like, hey, I got $20. I'll take it. Yeah, welcome to Canadian marketing. Yeah. Well, and here is the other one. So this one I ended up finding in Indiana when I was walking around Gen Con. I'm like, we were at the mall that's close by to it, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's go take a look at the game store. You know, there's a GameStop here. I've never been to a GameStop before, so I thought it'd be pretty neat. So I walked in, and then basically it's like an EB Games over here. It's the same damn thing. Though, it had a game that I wanted. So I got it. I had to get it. It was... For some reason, this game has always been a stupidly high price over here. No idea why. But I was very happy to find it at the decent price that it is. I've never been in a GameStop before, no. But yeah, no, EB Games is still a Canadian thing now. You still see EB Games over here. We have like 3 in Windsor. Anyway, so this game is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. This one. This freaking game. It's awesome. I only played a little bit of it, but I really, really, really want to get into this. You know, it was really cool to see the art style, and I just want to get into it. I don't want to dive into it much because I really didn't want to like ruin any of the story for me, so I had to stop myself. And I really want to play this one. You know, I just think it's so cool. It is so cool. And it's just a lovely, lovely game. And I think anyone who has a Wii U should give this one a try. Though, I can't even say it until I play it, so I'm gonna have to play it at some point. I feel so... Alright, I put it down, I'm okay now. Alright, so I got 2 more games here, and then we're gonna move on to the Valkyria Chronicles 4 unboxing. So when we were going up on our vacation, we were going to be taking a very long train ride. So we decided to start picking up games to, you know, try and pass the time. And so we ended up picking 2 games, and we got them just before the trip, and realized that we have motion sickness. And we played the game for 20 minutes, and we both felt sick. So I guess we're going to have to play these on stream then at some point. And, yeah. We didn't really think this one through, did we? The first one is Overcooked Special Edition. Overcooked is amazing. If you guys have any, like, anyone who usually plays like couch games with you or anything like that, Overcooked is amazing. Like, you need to try it. It's so good. With 3 to 4 players, you know, the amount of coordination you need to get past some of these challenges are awesome. But like, there was this one, like, I was playing with my friend's version of Overcooked. Yeah, I'm gonna say couch games. Couch co-op. And so yeah, there was 4 of us playing, and there was basically 2 trucks, and we were trying to make burgers. And so...
That was number 2.
No, that was the first one. And so every so often the trucks would like join together, and then one would have like you know, a bunch of ingredients and chopping stations. So basically whenever the 2 trucks went near each other, you just see 3 people just tossing all the ingredients over at like high speeds, just going tossing them as fast as they could. And it just like, we got bombarded on the other end. We're trying to make these freaking burgers. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. There was just too much crap going on, and it's absolute mayhem, but it's so much fun. Oh, of course we ended up working together, and if you work together really well, you can beat a lot of these no problem, but you have to work together. The game gets ridiculously hard after a certain while.
And people yell at each other.
And people yell at each other. Things start falling apart. But no, I've been rather pretty good with it. But I absolutely love it, and I aim to get the second Overcooked game as well. That one actually seems very fun as well. That one includes throwing, so you could it has a lot of maps around that as well. But no, if you have friends, play it. And yes, you cannot
You don't have friends?
you cannot play this online. Well, even find one person. You can do 2-player with this. You can beat the entire game with 2 players, so you don't have to have 4.
We're playing it with 2 players.
Yeah, we did pretty damn good. Yeah, we haven't been able to play this one online. I don't think we can. But anyways, Overcooked 2 does allow it. Allow online play, and it makes it a lot easier. But I'd still recommend the first one as well. Like, they're both excellent games. They're not like difficult or like complicated by any means, but like, it's so good. The second game I actually had pretty hard time tracking down. I ended up having to buy it directly from the online Nintendo store and have it shipped to my house. That's how ridiculous it was to find this game. It's actually a really fun game. And of course, you know, I'm talking about Snipperclips Plus. Snipperclips Plus is a game where you complete various tasks by clipping each other and cutting each other up. And yes, you can murder your friend in this, but they'll just spawn back, so.
Or you could just cut them.
Yeah, just cut them all up. Just snip them all death. Yes, like there are some tasks where you have to like make various shapes, or you know, poke a balloon, pop it, shoot a basketball into a net, and various things like that. It's an absolute joy to play. And it's such a pretty little game too. Like, you know what? Sometimes like simple games really do make a good effect. Yeah, my problem is that I refuse to get a lot of online games. That just kind of happens with me. I have a problem with, if I can get it physical, I'm going to do everything I can to get it physical. Also, I didn't have a Switch the first 6 months. We didn't get one until a year after it came out. Oh, well, you know what? That's a good thing as well. So yeah, that concludes the Game Finds number 15. It was a rather small batch. There's been a lot of money that I haven't been able to toss out. You know, I wish that I was able to do a lot of garage selling this year, but it just didn't happen. I've been so busy trying to get everything done. Alright, so